start the meeting now. I'm calling to order the meeting of the Santa Cruz Libraries Facilities Financing Authority. And we will start with roll call.
Tina Friend.
Here.
Martin Bernal.
Here.
Jamie Goldstein.
Here.
Carlos Palacios.
Here. Are there any additional materials? No. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? No. We will now go to oral communications. Public. Yes, if you could please approach the podium.
Good morning and happy New Year to you all. I wanted to say that I think we shouldn't assume that a renovation is going to disappoint the public. I hear a lot of negative things, and let's just not assume that that's going to be an unsatisfactory project, because I think it can be satisfactory and more than satisfactory. So let's think positively about the renovation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional oral communications? Okay, we're going to go to item 5, which is the Executive Director's Report.
Hi, Happy New Year. Just a couple updates on projects. APDOS is moving forward. There's going to be actually a 6-month delay before we close for construction, so we're looking at early 2021. Grants Authority at Garfield will go in front of the City Council next Tuesday, January 14th, 2020. An RFP has been developed and issued to pursue some more analysis on the downtown project. And I think that's what's new in project news.
Okay. Are there any project updates or comments by board members? No. We'll then go to the consent agenda. Is there any discussion or questions from the board on the consent agenda? Are there any comments from the public on the consent agenda? Yes, please approach the podium.
This is a copy of what I'm saying this morning.
Thank you.
Good morning, all. If you'll turn to page 17 of your agenda packet for the LFFA, because I'm going to refer to that. This is the, I'm sorry, my name is Jean Brocklebank. This is the consent agenda item B under Community Facilities District Reports. And I'm referring only to District 1. If you look down the listing of the branches, at the very bottom it says Live Oak /annex. And then it has the dollar amounts received, expended, etc. But this does not show where the $98,000 was spent. Was it spent on the existing Live Oak Library branch, or was it spent on the annex? So I'm suggesting that each project for Live Oak be separately listed so that we can follow the money. Where is that money being spent, either on the Live Oak planning consulting fees for the branch or for the annex? And then if you look down under special taxes, the same thing. It shows Live Oak /annex, and we have amount before and the existing amount, but we don't know. In this case, nothing has been expended, but we don't know if this is going to the Live Oak Library on Portola or to the Live Oak Annex account. It would be very helpful to the public and possibly even to the board to have that separately delineated. Then under the facilities project summary, this is very troubling with me. The third, it's actually the third paragraph down, because this is, again, Live Oak Branch Library /annex, as though it is one thing. one entity. Design and permitting is required of upgrades to the existing mechanical system, circulation desk, reference desk, and other interior upgrades in the existing library. That's very clear that that's for the existing library. The last paragraph, design and permitting of building addition and renovation of a portion of an existing community center. That's the Simkin Swim Center. That is not a library branch. That is not a library facilities under Measure S. Simkin Swim Center is another county building that has never functioned as a library, in part or in whole. And it says, but not limited to structural, roofing, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and data systems, building interiors and finishes, and site improvements. I have read the proposals submitted to the Board of Directors that says X amount, that the certain portions of that annex project will be funded by Measure S, certain portions will be funded by other county funds that we're not sure yet what those funds are. But the thing that bothers me the most is at the Simkin Swim Center, at the annex project, 75% of the outside landscaping, new roadway configuration, and drop-off areas for the Simkin Swim Center, the Boys and Girls Club next door, 75% of that work is coming from Measure S funds. Only 25% is coming from county funds, yet this is an upgrade. So I think this is playing a little loose with Measure S money to have 75% of the reconstruction and remodeling of an existing county building that serves the Simkin Swim Center and the Boys and Girls Club, because they're connecting in their discussion about this, how good it will be for the Boys and Girls Club. I think that's wrong to have 75% of Measure S money allocated to that work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other comments on the consent calendar? No comments, thank you. Okay, do I have a motion from the board?
I'll move approval. Sorry.
Motion.
I'll move approval.
Motion and a second. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, we will now go to item 8, which is general business. The first item is to elect the chair and vice chair. The schedule indicates that City of Capitola will be taking over the chair and City of Santa Cruz will be taking over the vice chair. Is there any discussion about that? Any comments from the public on it? Okay, I'll bring it back to the board. I have a motion.
I'll move approval for the board to elect the calendar year 2020 board chair as the City of Capitola and the vice chair as the City of Santa Cruz.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you, board members. That takes us to the second order of business that we have on the general government today, which is the second bond issuance approval. Do we have a staff report, please?
We have a series of documents that need to be approved for us to move forward with the second bond approval. I apologize, it's totally my fault. I'm sorry, Edith. I got very sick over the holidays and a lot of the communication that needed to happen to get our I's dotted and our T's crossed did not occur. I do believe this contract has been agreed to by both NBS and the JPA's council. So I would ask that we move forward with approval of this contract. Or we did. Oh, we did. Yeah, this is the one that's good.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board?
And this is consistent with what we paid in the first round of bond issuance.
I guess I do have a question. So how much is that?
$70,250.
$17,000. Correct. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll go to the public for public comment. With that, I'll close public comment, bring it back to the board for discussion.
I move approval of the agreement with NBS Government Finance Group.
Okay,
I'll second.
Great. Before we vote, though, I do have one sort of suggestion is for the second item on today's agenda where we're approving a contract with our FA, financial advisor, I see that there's language that we're allowing sort of a subject final sign-off with legal. Do you want that sort of authority with this MBS contract? Because I don't see a lawyer's signature on it.
I do believe the NBS contract is in shape to be approved.
It's in shape to be approved in the form that is presented today, doesn't it?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. In that case, then, I think we have a motion and a second on the floor. There's no further discussion. Call the question. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. That takes us to the third item of business on today's general government items. It's a contract with a municipal advisor, financial advisor. We have a staff report, please.
Again, this is one of the 3 contracts we will need to move forward. It's a $60,000 contract. It is consistent with what we did last time, but we haven't gotten final legal authority. So, for example, the sign-off really needs to be the board chair, not me. And so there are a couple, I believe, housekeeping things we need to do to keep this in order. So my hope would be that you would approve this subject to final review and approval by legal counsel.
Okay, are there any questions of the board?
I had one. So Susan, you mentioned that these are the 2 of 3 contracts, and what's the third?
We have to do an agreement for legal services with, sorry, this is the one that's coming in late. I'm looking for the name of this group. It's a legal firm. Quint and Timmick.
They're a bond disclosure council?
Okay.
And I apologize, but we did not get in a place where our legal counsel is comfortable yet with this contract. Our hope is to bring it back in February, and our hope is that this does not slow us down. But we did call a special meeting in February. It is a third component of services we need to purchase in order to move forward.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions from board members? Go to the public. Public comment, please.
I just had a quick question. I'm not sure if it's this agenda item or the one with the NBS. I can't remember. One of them, in reading the packet, said that there was going to be a kickoff meeting. What is the purpose? Susan, is that the NBS or this?
It was the NBS time schedule.
What is a kickoff for? I'm just curious.
Let's notice, I think we've kind of already had it.
You've had it, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't involved in the NDS, that was your council, but worked with them. My guess is it's part of their traditional entry meeting.
Okay, so an entry meeting, but then I kind of take words for their meaning.
Oh, yeah, no.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Any other public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. We'll get back to the board for deliberations.
I'll move approval of the contract subject to final review and approval by legal counsel for the municipal advisor agreement with Harrell and Company Advisors.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second on the floor. Other discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. So with that, we will adjourn our LFFA meeting and reconvene as
I just want to remind folks that we have scheduled a February 6th, 2020 at the downtown library, I believe, actually. I know some of it's in Felton, but others it's showing downtown. So.
It's down.
It is down.
It's downtown. That was my recollection as well. So it's February 6th, and that will be just the LFFA, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, the special meeting.
And our financial advisor will be in attendance.
Great, thank you. Oh, I know, I have to hand back up.
And just technically, it's not a special meeting because we built it into the calendar.
That's
Correct.
That's correct.